what you do, and I don't want to be redundant over what my buddy Jimmy Petrona said, but you are a huge, huge part of our economy. I certainly get it. I certainly recognize it. I know most of my peers do as well. I mean, year in and year out between you and agriculture, I mean, that's what drives our state. We can't ever forget that. So I'm very impressed with the crowd that's always up here. Always great to see you and always great to have your input, because as Jimmy said, sometimes we get kind of up here and we like to think we know what's going on, but when you're up here and when you're telling us what's impacting you day in and day out, that makes a difference to us, because you sent us up here to try to make your lives easier, your business more efficient, more effective, and for you to pay less taxes as the days go on. And that's what we've been trying to do. I know he went over the numbers, but I came in 3 years ago, as was said in the introduction, we had a $6 billion shortfall in our budget over those 2 years. And as he said, we've been able to obviously balance the budget, make some tough cuts, but also pay money back and pay down debt, which has been really gratifying for us and for me personally as a businessman, and knowing what that means. But also, in the years that we've had last year and then this year, a little bit of a surplus, it's important for us to be diligent with that as well and use it for good causes and use it for the right things. And I trust and know that your industry and what we're doing around tourism in Florida will be the recipient of some of those dollars. So I'm excited about that. I won't go on for too long, but I do want to just briefly mention the communication services tax issue. I'm very happy to carry that. When I was made aware of the problem, it just one of those things. It's like, well, it's hard to believe, but it's not hard to believe that sometimes government tends to overreach, and in this case, I think they definitely have. Department of Revenue, in fact, has even, as you probably know, or maybe you've even heard, those cases that have been brought before them, they've vacated those cases and simply, I don't want to tell you what you've already heard, but what DOR's decided they can do is tax internet reservation transactions. If, let's say, you have a DoubleTree hotel and their reservations are made out of Chicago or somewhere on their intranet service, communication services tax was never meant to tax those reservation transactions. So DOR started doing that. And in fact, in a couple of cases, it was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes. And when questioned about it, well, they would lower the amount or try to negotiate it or say, hey, Elliot, good to see you. Or say, well, would you settle for thus and such? That's crazy. And what's even crazier is even if that's going on and they're backing way off, you're spending time, you're spending money, you're hiring accountants, you're hiring lawyers to represent you, and that's just not what government should do. So hopefully this year, with the support of our friends in the Senate and the governor, we'll get that clarified, that is not permissible. It's not going to happen. And further, it'll clarify, I think, for the future, if they try to do it on hotel reservations, they might try to do it on, dining reservations or, recreational activities reservations, whatever might be available. So we just got to clear that up, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm proud to carry that. I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's certainly good for Florida, and hopefully it'll be good for your industry and give you some certainty in how you operate day to day. I know you got many, many issues and many situations and problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. This overreach of government certainly doesn't need to be one of those. So we'll work hard to get that passed. We've gotten good support, and we're trying to get it kind of tightened up where it's the right bill, that we're doing exactly what we want. But we're hopefully be hearing it first time in the House in another week in committee. So we expect that to move very well. And I just close by saying thank you again for what you're doing for Florida. Thank you for what you bring. It's incredible that all of you are here, and there's more outside, and there's more at the Capitol. Who's running the shop, I guess, but it's a very impressive group, and what you bring to our economy, what you bring to our families, and to everyone in Florida is very, very important, and we appreciate what you're doing and look forward to seeing you in the Capitol. If you need us, holler, and throughout the time you're here, still welcome you and would love to see you if you have a chance. So thanks very much for having me today, and thank you.